Hello, welcome back to the channel. You joined us this morning at Dunstanburgh Castle. We had a nice sleep last night. Didn't get up till about 6 o'clock this morning. Didn't bother with sunrise. Just thought we'd have a nice chilled, relaxed one because we had such a busy day yesterday. But yeah, great to come here this morning. Again, somewhere I've never been to, but always wanted to always wanted to come to. And yeah, Paul's going to join us in a short while. He's going to go meet a friend. Yeah, you come down to this coast, which yeah, so many great photos have been taken before. Don't think I'm going to improve on any of those today, but for now, I'm quite happy just to sit here in the sun, listen to those waves, taking the views and the sights, and just relax. It's very easy to come to these locations and just go gung-ho about getting compositions. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do it myself sometimes. But sometimes it's just nice to take that slower pace, like myself and like Daniel here, and just chill for a bit, just relax, take it in. You know, the photos, when I always say this myself, when I come to these locations, yeah, okay, it's great getting the photos, but sometimes it's just about being in the location, just taking it all in. Because I don't come here very often, so, you know, I don't want it all to be about me just sitting here vlogging and taking photos. I want to just sit and take it in and enjoy it. The waves are coming in at quite a force, and Big Daz is framing up a composition, and every now and then quite a big wave's coming through and he's getting absolutely blasted. Yeah, that'll be me shortly, but for now, like I say, I'm just going to sit here, relax, and take it all in. I've been sitting here for probably about a good hour now, just really taking it all in. Big Daz is still framing up some shots. But as we've been sitting here, things have changed quite dramatically. When we first got here, it was all really quite blue skies and not really, you know, conducive to good photography. However, as you can see behind me, the clouds have really started to roll in. We've got some lovely, dark, moody looking clouds. So yeah, I think it's about time I started to try and frame up some compositions. This is beautiful, really moody looking. That's just what you want at this sort of location, I think. So yeah, let's go and frame something up. Right, so I'm now at the sea now, being really careful. These rocks are, some of them are super slippy, some are okay, it's just knowing which ones. But I have framed up a composition. I'm in vertical orientation here. And there's a rock down here which has got some seaweed nestled in the middle of it. I'm placing that pretty much on the bottom left-hand third, and basically got the castle up there on the top right-hand third. Pretty standard composition for this area. But what I'm doing is I'm taking a 25-second exposure with my 10-stop and a circular polarizer on. The circular polarizer is really just helping just take a little bit of shine off the rocks, just a touch. I don't want to take it all out because you lose that contrast. But it's really quite nice. And as I say, I've got my 10-stop on, so I'm shooting about 25 seconds. As the water comes in, using a 2-second timer, and just trying to time it as best I can, that when that water starts to come in and then retreat, it takes the shot, so I get this nice sort of milky effect in between the rocks. It's really quite nice, and with the clouds that we've got, it's really working quite nicely at the moment. What I will say is that I'm going to take another exposure for the sky without any filters on, because I love the detail we've got in the clouds at the moment. So I'll basically blend those two together in Photoshop. So you've got a real nice moody cloud, milky water, wet rocks, real nice composition. So if this works out any good, let me pop it on screen for you.
In the end, I only opted to use a single exposure for these images, discarding the faster shutter speed image that I took for the sky. I found that the sky was a little bit too crunchy with a bit too much detail in it, which I actually think would have caused a bit of a distraction from the main part of the image, which is the rocks with the water coming in and obviously the castle there in the background. By opting for the single exposure, I was able to smooth out the sky a little bit while still maintaining some level of detail, just to give a little bit of interest to the image.
I have no idea if any of these are going to work out. I have just taken another shot though. I've come out a bit further now to really try and maximise the movement of the water and getting wet in the process, but it's great fun, don't get me wrong. Another big boulder here, nice big round one with some seaweed growing out of it. And I'm having to take, again, multiple exposures to try and get this shot. So I've taken one for long exposure with the polarizer and a 10 stop to smooth the water out, waiting for the wave to come in, pressing the shutter, waiting a couple of seconds, letting it take the shot. Taken one without any filters on for the sky, just to get that capture that detail in the sky. And there's also another faster shutter speed for the seaweed on the rock here, because we have got a slight breeze and it was moving around quite a bit, so I want to try and get that as sharp as possible. So I'm going to bring all those together in post and hopefully they work out, but I'm in such an awkward position I can't really see if I'm even properly in focus. So I'm just winging it. But if they turn out any good, I'll pop it on screen. I'm really tempted to get a little bit further into the water because it seems to be starting to retreat a little bit, and see if I can make some of the use of these rocks here. There's some lovely seaweed on the rock just to the left here ever so slightly. So yeah, might give that a quick go. Really chancing my luck now. Come out a bit further and the water's even reaching the top of my wellies, but having a great time. Okay, so I have taken another shot. I think it's just starting to rain as well. I've taken another shot with this rock here with a lot more seaweed on it this time. Again, using the same principle what I've done with the other two shots. That rock's on the left-hand third with the seaweed on it. Castle's up on the top right. I'm going to opt for a 4x5 crop on this, just take the bottom of the photo out ever so slightly. Again, 25-second exposure and multiple exposures, one for the sky, one for the ground. Let me just get this one for the sky. Right, so I've got that one as well. Here's the shot. I'm going to get off here because it's getting a bit dicey. Started heading towards the castle and the rest of the guys started to walk back towards us. And then I started having some issues with this vlogging camera, but it's I've taken the battery out and put it back in. It seems to be okay. But yeah, so I'm not going to go down there now. I'll leave that for another day because I'm definitely returning here. It's an absolutely fantastic location. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed these 3 images that I've taken. Great location, just got to come here and be very careful. Big Daz fell over. Daniel nearly fell over. Yeah, it's a very difficult. When this rain came out, some of the rocks are slippy, some aren't so bad. And until you actually stand on them, you don't know. Your foot just goes. So if you are coming here, do be very, very careful. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you soon.